Today, I'm going to walk you through a mobility routine for squatting. So when we think about warming up, you want to make sure that whatever activity you're going to do, especially if you're going to do it with weight, you want to make sure that you have that range of motion that's going to be occurring at each joint within your body during that activity available to you comfortably before you start. So this routine is going to focus on how can we make sure that our joints are kind of moving and flowing before we get into the squat. So we're going to start with the ankles. You're going to prop your foot up onto a bench and then lean forward, trying to keep your heel on the bench. And then I'm using my hands here to just push into my thigh a little bit, and I'm kind of forcing my knee to go over my toes. Now, if you have really stiff ankles, you probably won't be able to go as far, and that's fine. Just kind of go within your comfortable range of motion. Maybe do about 10 of them, maybe 20 if you're a little bit extra stiff or you've been sitting for most of the day. So that's for the ankles. Next, we're going to loosen up the hips. So you're going to sit on a mat, and then you're going to rock your hips back and forth, starting to open them up into rotation. Maybe start with about 10 of these, and then you can get into this 90-90 position here. So you have this 90-degree bend in this front leg and then in this back leg. And then you're going to kind of rock between these two positions so that you get this kind of mix of internal rotation and external rotation on both sides. And then the more you sit tall and kind of lean forward into the hips, the more intense the stretch will be. So just like the ankle, keep it comfortable. If one leg feels a little bit more achy, maybe spend a little bit extra time doing a couple pulses and rocks into that side. Next, we're going to target our spine. So we're just going to do some cat-cows, arching through the mid-back, tucking the pelvis, tucking the neck down, and then go into the cow. Let the chest sink down towards the mat, arch the low back, and look up through the neck. And do about 10 of these just to start getting some of that segmental mobility going through the spine. If you're going to be doing a back squat, so having a barbell up here on your back, you're going to want to make sure that your shoulders are nice and open. So you can take a towel, pull on either side, and then just work on stretching out through the shoulders. You could pull down a little bit here. This is going to be that position that your shoulders are going to have to get into. So you want to make sure, again, that you can comfortably access this before you start adding weight to it, especially if you've been sitting all day at work and you're going to the gym after work. Do this one to get your shoulders nice and open. You can also do it with a PVC pipe if your gym has something that's unweighted. The further away that you keep your grip, the easier it's going to be, the more motion you should be able to go through. And then next, we're just going to do a little bit of muscle activation. So take a resistance band, step into it, put it just above the knees. Your goal is to get the glutes firing so that they're nice and supportive when you get into your squat. So the band has a tendency to pull my knees inward. I'm resisting that pull by pulling outward using the outer hips, maintaining that nice separation between my knees as I go down into a body weight squat. It can also be helpful to do these squats in front of a mirror before you start, just to make sure that you're symmetrically loading both sides. Sometimes without even realizing it, we can be favoring one side. So just do a quick check in the mirror, kind of adjust if you need to, and then you are ready to start squatting with weight.